Remember that clip everyone couldn't stop sharing? The one flooding highlight pages and NBA feeds when Bronny finally checked in?
Bronny out here playing like ass cheeks right now, bro. Like, son is horrible. Son is horrible. Son is horrible.
I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad.
Yeah, that one. The crazy part? That single moment got pushed harder than the actual game. The Lakers rolled in and got smacked by the Suns 103-81, a full 22-point preseason beatdown. But instead of people talking about the loss, the headlines spun straight into Bronny's debut highlight. A real frenzy. Here's the cold, unfiltered truth. Bronny played 24 minutes that night, took 12 shots, and made just one from deep. He went 1 for 8. That's 8.3% from the field and 12.5% from three. Those aren't opinions. Those are box score receipts. Meanwhile, Austin Reeves quietly dropped 20 and actually looked like... But who did all the talk shift to? Bronny. 2 nights later, same story, just a different opponent. Against Golden State, Bronny logged 23 minutes and finished with 5 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 turnovers. That's rough. The Lakers lost again, 111-103, and no matter how you spin it...
That's their China's Vegas.
Connect, catch, shoot with the clock winding up. Oh!
Even if it's just preseason, 5 turnovers and poor shooting in big minutes make fans start asking, why is he getting this kind of leash right now? That's when the TNT crew started heating up. Charles Barkley, who's been calling it straight about Bronny for months, didn't hold back.
Be aware of where he is when the rebound comes off.
Here's Reeves going all the way to the basket, something he does really as well.
On the Dan Patrick Show, Barkley flat out said Bronny should be in the G League. You don't get better sitting on the bench. Barkley called the way the Lakers are handling this stupid and a bad look. And honestly, he's not the only one thinking it. Because let's be real, and this isn't about family pride anymore. It's about development and fairness. If a young player earns his minutes through growth and hustle, fine. But if it's just because of who his dad is, that's another story entirely. So what exactly is Bronny's role here? Is he supposed to be a 3-and-D guard? The numbers scream no. You can't go 1 for 12 and call that spacing. Is he a lockdown defender at 6'2"? He's shown heart and flashes of effort, sure, but not enough physical tools or consistent defense to hang with top-tier NBA wings. Critics argue the Lakers are treating this like a family experiment, not a title run. And honestly, when you look at those 2 preseason box scores, the data backs them up.
Everybody on the Lakers is fine what LeBron did for his son.
That's a great question. I don't think that matters. He did it. That kid, I wish him nothing but the best. He should be in the G League, getting better as a player. He should have been in the G League all year. I think it was a great story for them to go on the court together.
Even inside the media world, people aren't shy about it. Stephen A. Smith went public earlier this year, practically begging LeBron to stop this, saying Bronny's spot in the league was built more on lineage than earned merit. That's what sparked that courtside confrontation between Stephen A. and LeBron, the one everyone's still replaying on.
Maybe he gonna have a bounce-back game. Yo, Bronny James sucks, man. Bronny sucks. Guys, like, he's bad.
Stephen A. softened his tone afterward, but the core point never changed. People still believe Bronny's only here because of his father. You can't just pretend that perception doesn't exist when the minutes and shots don't match the production. And it's not just Stephen A. pushing this conversation. Social media has been a war zone. Reddit, X, sports radio, you name it. Some fans say, give the kid time. Others say, this is straight up nepotism. It's wild.
Pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his...
You've got some fans getting defensive with wild personal jabs. Everything from you hate your dad to you just hate LeBron, instead of talking about the actual basketball. That kind of deflection ruins the real question. What actually helps the Lakers win? Those Suns and Warriors box scores told one kind of truth. LeBron's legacy tells another. Both matter on their own, but mixing them up makes it impossible to have an honest debate. Sure, some people point out that Bronny's...
We're seeing from him in the G League because that's where you belong. As you hone your skills and you get better and you legitimately earn, which I believe he has the potential to do. I am rooting for Bronny James. It would be cruel to root against him. He's a wonderful kid. I wish him nothing but the best. But he's LeBron James' son. And everybody knows what it is.
And that's true. Coaches say his G League time has helped him find rhythm and confidence. There's potential there, no doubt. But when you drop a 1 for 12 line in an NBA uniform and still get 24 minutes the next game, or cough up 5 turnovers in another long run, fans aren't being haters for questioning it. They're looking at the same numbers the team sees and wondering why other guys, like Austin Reeves, aren't getting that same spotlight when they're actually producing.
Kid's got potential. I think the kid will be in the NBA one day. I watched him in the G League doing his thing. I think he's going to be fine eventually.
To be fair, Coach J.J. Redick did throw some support his way after the Suns' loss, calling Bronny a totally different player from a year ago and crediting his G League growth. That's the optimistic side, the side we can't fully see behind closed doors. Maybe there's more...
Listen to this. He is so much more comfortable and confident as a player, Redick said. Skill-wise, read-wise, all of those things have improved. But there's a big difference between improving those things in an individual workout and small group settings and then doing it 5-on-5. I have just felt like all of September and in our first 3 days of camp, he just looks more comfortable.
But right now, the numbers and the eye test are both screaming for answers. Let's get real about how this story is being shaped. The media, highlight pages, Instagram edits, X clips, they're all feeding the same machine. Every time Bronny throws down a putback dunk at Chase Center, drains a 3, or checks in beside his dad, those moments explode online within minutes. Clip hubs post it, views skyrocket, and advertisers... But here's the twist. When the clips become the story, everything else fades away. The blowout losses, bad shooting nights, and sloppy turnovers all get buried under the highlight moments and viral edits. Now don't get it twisted. Highlight accounts are just doing their job. Their business is engagement, not accuracy. But that constant hype feeds a sentimental storyline that pushes the real basketball conversation into the background. If you want the feel-good version, scroll your feed. But if you want the truth, check the box score. And yes, there's a legitimate question people keep asking. If Bronny wasn't LeBron's son, would this even be a national story? Would NBA TV or Bleacher Report still be flooding timelines with his clips? Stephen A. Smith said it straight earlier this year. Bronny is in the NBA because of his dad. And that quote has become a battle cry for frustrated fans everywhere. This isn't some wild conspiracy. It's a sequence of obvious events. A superstar father, an unprecedented father-son roster, and a media system built to spotlight it. Of course, it generates buzz. That's the design. But the only thing that truly matters for the Lakers is whether those minutes on the floor lead to wins. And based on the preseason games so far, they don't. Then comes the slick media choreography. You can almost see it. Some hosts soften their words, afraid to cross lines because they're too close to players or management. Others hesitate because they don't want to look like they're tearing down a young player tied to one of the biggest stars ever. And let's be honest, LeBron's known to clap back when criticism hits too close. That's why moments like that fiery courtside exchange with Stephen A. still echo online. What we're left with is media triage. Coaches praise him, highlight accounts post him, and analysts tiptoe around him. It's a cycle that protects the narrative but dodges the truth. And that raises the real question. Are outlets chasing clicks and keeping connections instead of calling it straight? When you look at how clips are selectively framed, it's a fair argument. Switching back to basketball reality, a roster only has so much space. Preseason minutes aren't for nostalgia. They're auditions. When Bronny shoots 8.3% from the field and 12.5% from deep, yet logs the second most minutes on the team that night, fans have every right to wonder what's going on. Are those minutes for building chemistry, or just for keeping a storyline alive? Coaches and front offices have to answer that honestly. Because if your goal is to win now, then minutes need to match production, not pedigree. And let's not forget, preseason stats can lie. A few late free throws or garbage time buckets can look like growth in a highlight edit. Some outlets post Bronny's makes like he's breaking out, while completely ignoring the 1 for 12 shooting nights. That kind of selective storytelling is great for clicks but terrible for accountability. You can't evaluate a player through hype reels. You've got to look at turnovers, shot selection, defensive impact, and efficiency under a microscope. Bleacher Report, NBA socials, and every big highlight hub, they all fuel this cycle whether they mean to or not. So where does that leave us? Two conflicting versions of reality, one where coaches and teammates publicly praise his progress, and another where fans and analysts see a massive gap between hype and results. Charles Barkley and the rest aren't out here making things up. They're reacting to the same numbers anyone can pull up. If the Lakers want to silence critics, it's simple. Give Bronny a real development plan. Let him thrive in the G League, define his role, and earn his way back. Or play him when he proves he's ready, with efficiency and clean decision-making. But if they do neither, this whole thing keeps looking like a PR project instead of player growth. And you can bet the noise isn't dying down anytime soon. The defenders, the die-hard fans, the sharp-tongued critics, everyone's voice is getting louder by the day. But here's the truth. Criticism isn't hate. Questioning minutes, shot selection, or roster choices is what keeps a franchise honest. If your first move is to twist that into a personal or family attack, then the conversation's already drifted away from basketball and straight into tribal chaos. What actually matters are the numbers, cold, clear, and fair. If a player's producing winning basketball, he earns those minutes. If he's not, he develops somewhere else. Simple as that. For the Lakers, this preseason has been a wake-up call. Legacy moments might trend online, but highlight reels don't win games. Real roster building needs consistent, no-nonsense evaluation, whether it's Bronny James or anyone else rocking the purple and gold. So ask yourself, what do you want this franchise to be? A storyline factory chasing clicks and feel-good moments, or a serious squad chasing wins and banners? The preseason box scores already give you the receipts to make that judgment. Everything else, the viral clips, the fan edits, the dramatic hot takes, that's entertainment. But when the games start counting, only one thing talks louder than hype: the numbers. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because we'll be breaking down every twist, every headline, and every stat that shakes up the league. See you in the next.